December meeting of the Cromwell Community Board. We're starting our meeting today with 2 public forum items. Our first one is David George. So David, I'd like to welcome you to the table, please, who's going to speak on the Cromwell Museum. Thank you, David.
Thanks. I'll try and be brief.
We have 5 minutes, David. That's
I know, very brief. I brought this along. This is a museum proposal 2007. This was a proposal to build a museum in the Quarry Gorge Mining Centre. It went through the process of resource consent process. That's all that's left of the proposal. If you want your whole proposal and your museum proposal, you have to go the same way. And if you continue to want to build the new museum on the ground that belongs to the War Memorial, then your proposal, in my view, will go the same way. It'll go a different way, but it will. I've got supporters who wish to remain anonymous at this stage, but they are significant leaders in our community, the majority of whom were born here or brought up here and went to school here. And they're extremely angry with the proposal to stick the cenotaph in the car park in front of the Town and Country Club. And I tell you, you're up for a fight, you're up for a run. And I'll go right to the finish line with every one of you if I have to. I've had contact with the Minister of Local Government. At the present time, the status of my appeal, my ministerial appeal, is that it's in the hands of the Minister. So I don't know which way that'll go, but that was my first move. So I didn't come here empty-handed, and I didn't get told as my feeling is about the council and the community board. You know, when I come into this area, it says a world of difference. What I see there under that sign is get lost. We're not interested in hearing what you have to say. You're not interested in what our committees and our organisations are having to say. I'm a member of the Cromwell RSA, and I've been privy to information coming forward to us. There's been no discussion. I'm a member of the Town and Country Club, and I'm a member of the Fine Tone Theatre Company. And I'm also a local historian with published work. And I feel that my voice hasn't been heard, even through the museum committee. I applied recently to become a trustee on the committee. I've been involved since 1966. No way. Our last historian, Ron Murray, got into that museum once in his entire living life when Helen Scholes let him in there when the officials in charge of the museum were away on leave. It's not going to happen to me or to any other historian. It's our museum, it's our community museum, not just for the Cromwell community, but for the whole district, from Terrace to Bannockburn to Nevis, not just a Cromwell thing. And we need full representation in there, from our ahika, from our mana whenua. I represent that word. I had tea with our kaumātua last night. He and his cousin live in the valley all their lives. They're direct descendants of Karatai, signer of the treaty. And I have their support. Do you even know who they are? Thank you.
Thank you, David. Any time? Did anybody have any questions?
Sorry.
But it's our understanding that through the process that's currently being followed, that the stakeholders who are being consulted with include the groups that you have talked about, including mana whenua, and I am aware that the Okaha group in Dunedin have been representing mana whenua or the PAG, that RSA, the Museum Trust, Fine Time Theatre Company and the Town and Country Club have all been part of those discussions. So
what I asked in my message to you was you also included Old Cromwell or Cromwell Heritage, include them in the discussions, also the Target Goldfields Heritage Trust, and include them because they live rich in the same area doing the same stuff. They have museum type facilities. They're doing the same sort of stuff, and you include them in your brief as well.
of course, there is currently a museum strategy being discussed and developed by Central Otago District Council that will feed into some of this stuff as well. So in terms of that wider district that you're talking about, that should be included in those discussions that are currently happening, not at this level, not at community board level, but at wider council level. So thank you for your presentation and thank you for your time. And our next presentation for the is Carolyn Murray and Marion Lowe, who are here to talk on behalf of the Cromwell Promotions Group. Welcome.
Hi guys.
We are expecting as passionate.
I'm going to sit a little bit calmer. Yeah. It's a tough act to follow though, right? Okay, so hi everybody. I think many of you know me, but for those that don't, my name is Carolyn Murray. I'm the chairperson of the Cromwell District's Promotion Group. And this is Marion Lowe, who is our Marketing and Communications Manager. So welcome to new board members and welcome back to those who are continuing. So I just want to tell you a little bit. I know it's just 5 minutes, so I promise I'll stick to time. The Promotions Group is a hardworking committee of volunteers. We employ 2 part-time contractors, one of which is Marion, the other is Kelly. And our contractors, although working part-time, are really critical to the success of our group. We are the largest recipient of CCB promotional funding, for which we're very grateful, and we're committed to promoting our amazing town via many media channels, but we're probably most well known for our events. So I'll present our accountability report for the funding received for the period October 21 to June 22. Please note that this funding for this year was a bit different. So this period excludes our largest event, Light Up Winter, which was reported on separately already due to one quarter being processed differently. I will just note that the accountability shows, and I'm sure you've seen in the report, an underspend. This was mainly due to us being unable to hold the fireworks event, and the year in question that we're reporting on was a really challenging year with COVID restrictions, and that was the reason why we were unable to navigate the many rules, and so that event did not go ahead. Our group does work within very tight budgets, and although it is in line with the policy to repay the $2,000 underspend, we would really appreciate your consideration and possibly allowing us to retain the funds, because we do things on a shoestring. We pull it together with community support, volunteer hours, and we are also seeking sponsorship from businesses in our community. But all of that is quite hard work to pull it all together. So just by way of example, we're not talking about 2021 Light Up Winter, but just for your information, the community board funded $15,000 towards that event, but the total cost of that event was $43,000. Good idea. So I'm just going to really quickly read the introduction to our accountability, because it does sum up our year's activities pretty concisely. So this was my 3rd year of this as chair of this incredible and high achieving committee. We came through the last 2 years of COVID which, you know, had lots of stops and starts. There was anxiety about gatherings, and there were countless rule changes. So as a group, we're now breathing a collective sigh of relief that we've hopefully made it through the worst of all of that. During the last year, we not only did we survive, but we managed to hold 8 events for locals and visitors, from much loved gatherings of thousands like Light Up Winter, to smaller and specialised sporting events such as the Summer Series, and fun and quirky gatherings like the National Cherry Spitting Competition and a very central Christmas. One of our events was unable to go ahead, as I mentioned. So given the COVID times that we've been through, I think that's pretty good going. So that was the fireworks and street party, which we couldn't hold mainly because we couldn't have, you know, controls and fencing around the entire area. At that time, vaccine passes were required. In addition to planning and running these events, our group produced another glossy edition of the Cromwell Compendium to promote our local attractions and offerings. We trained our team as facilitators in the Cromwell Ambassador Program. So, for example, Marion is now a trainer for that program. We managed our Cromwell promotional channels, including social media, our website, and brochures promoting our town and surrounds. We managed to do all of this while negotiating rule changes, establishing new funding streams, gaining more corporate sponsorship than ever before to enable our events to grow. I do want to make special mention again of Marion and Kelly because, you know, without these guys and the hard work that they put in, we would not be able to deliver what we do to the professional standard that we've become known for. Was that my 5 minutes, Anna? Yeah. Okay, last paragraph, which is just to say thank you. Our committee is really grateful to you, the Community Board, as our main supporter and source of funding. Without this promotional funding, we would not be able to offer these events to the community to the high standards that we do. And yeah, I think we can be very proud of what we put on for our town. So yeah, that's.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I know that you, that all of us have probably attended at least one of your events over time and know that you put a lot of time and energy, and I know that you've spent time seeking other funding sources over the last 2 years in particular and have had some success at that, which has been really lovely to see that. I know it's been more work and extra work, but it has been good to see that there's other people out there who can fund some of your activities. Bob, you had something you wanted to contribute?
No, not really. I was just going to say that Marion's sitting on a bunch of the compendium.
We're going to hand them out.
Are you going to hand them?
Around. Good. Yeah, spotting. Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's so. I mentioned the compendium. These are just hot off the press, actually. So, thanks, Wayne. So yeah, we would love. We don't have quite enough for everybody, but if you'd like to have a look, and some people can keep them. We're really pleased with how it's come together, and this year, yeah, it's a little bit different. Oh,
Marion was there.
We're getting heckled, but okay, yeah.
I'm getting heckled.
Anyway, I won't go on, but please enjoy a look through. These will go into all the accommodation rooms around town and around the district.
Thank you. It's beautiful. And thank you for the work that you do for our community.
Well, we got my photo.
I know that later in our agenda we've got your full report. So yes, for that.
Awesome. Thanks, Anna.
Cheers.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
Now lost my board because they're all reading. Looking for their photos. What? Looking to see if their photos are in it. Yeah, we're just all looking for us. Yeah. Okay. So that takes us into our meeting proper. And the first part of that is the confirmation of the minutes. Oh, sorry, an apology. We've received an apology from Cheryl Laws for this meeting. And then on to the confirmation of the minutes of the meeting that's held on the 10th of November, which was, of course, an extraordinary meeting after my inability to attend the meeting that was scheduled the week before. Is there anything that anybody needs to discuss? Can I have a mover and a seconder for those minutes, please? Thank you, Sarah and Bob. All in favour? Oh, sorry, and a mover and a seconder for Cheryl's apology. Yeah, thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Mary. That takes us to our declarations of interest, and a reminder that members need to be vigilant to stand aside from decision making when a conflict arises between their role as a member and any private or other external interests that they might have. And then that takes us to a resolution to exclude the public, and we have two recommendations here. One, that the public be excluded from the following parts of the proceedings of this meeting, to discuss the Cromwell Town Centre project and the confidential governance report, and B, that we are able to have Neil Penny and Marilyn Brown stay for the publicly excluded part of the meeting due to their knowledge of the topic. That need to repeat, Nigel. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Sarah. All in favour? If there are any members of the public. There are. Yeah. Oh.